What would you do with 6 months off a year? Is there a destination you've always wanted to go to? A new skill you've always wanted to learn but just haven't had the time? Well, I'm kind of excited to say that we're actually only allowed to have our glamping operation open for 180 days a year. So that means we're going to have 180 days off. You might be thinking, how can a business only operate 6 months out of the year and still be profitable, still be able to manage? Well, stick around to see why we're okay with this, why we're excited about it, and why we're financially able to do it.
So we're actually only able to operate our glamping business 180 days a year, and this is dictated by our local municipality. So we had several meetings with them when we were working through this process, and their building engineer continually referenced back the IBC, the International Building Code, into section 3103, which is temporary structures. And that's how they determine that everything that is glamping related is operating as a temporary structure. After meeting with our planning and zoning department when we were getting our conditional use permit, we were able to work through with them and get it approved that they were going to say 180 days of occupancy and not 180 days of the structure being erected, which is how the code actually looks at it. So we actually were able to get them to budge a little bit on it, and they agreed that they'd let us set up and take down, and that's not factored into that 180 days overall.
And this definitely helps us. So we get to have 180 days occupancy, but we still have that flexibility of setup and takedown that isn't going to count against our occupancy. But this is just for our glamping structures. So we can have campers all year round. So if any of you want to camp for free on our land in December when it's snowing, be our guest.
We'd love to have the company. There are definitely pros and cons with this 180-day rule, and we had to certainly go through them when we were determining whether this is actually a functional and viable business or not. So the major cons for this is obviously the money. So structuring our business to where it can only operate for 180 days, we're operating half the time. We're having our potential profits cut in half, and that obviously affects our ROI on our entire business dramatically. We ran the numbers countless times when we were determining this project, and it came back every time that financially it's still a viable business and the ROIs are still very attractive.
But this is a new year, so let's focus on the benefits. Let's focus on the positives. So a big positive for us is it gives us time off. I know those 6 months are going to be brutal. We're going to be working 7 days a week, all day long, but it's going to be so nice to have 6 months off. I know when you're running a small business, you probably never have time off, but at least we do have the time to. If we want to go be on the beach in Mexico, we can. We're not actually operating the glamp ground in December, January, February when it's freezing anyway. This also gives a better guest experience. There actually are some unpermitted campgrounds, glamp grounds running in the area where we're at that are running all year round, and you can look at the guest experience and their negative reviews, and they're usually all in the winter because it's cold. I mean, it gets to be, even in the teens at night up there, sometimes it's snowing. Do you really want to be in a tent during that weather? Absolutely not. And then also the other operations up there that are running illegally all year round, they're not even offering running water in the winter, which I don't know what guest wants to stay in a place without water, but and then also it gives us time to kind of take a step back, look at the prior year, and really focus on what's going to be our marketing strategy the next year. How are our taxes going to look? Because I know that's going to be fun to handle. And then it's going to give us some time to fix some things and just really prepare for the next season. So it is kind of weird only working 6 months out of the year, but it is nice to have that time to really reflect on your business and focus on how you're going to do better the next year. And then I also just want to add, since these rules are just for the glamping, we still have 2 yurts on our property that are not membrane structures that we can rent out all year round. So in the winter, if we want to go take a vacation, we can rent out both yurts because we won't be there. So that's a way to kind of offset and still make some money in our off season. So we're pretty excited that way that we've really thought about all of this, and I still get a paycheck all year round. So that's pretty nice. So Cole, what are you most excited to get to do with our time off?
I'm super excited to get to do the Arizona Trail. It's something I've always wanted to do. So go on a longer distance hike. What about you, Taylor?
Oh, I love traveling and I love South America and I'm really trying to learn Spanish. So I can't wait to just spend the entire our winter, their summer in South America. And I can't wait to go back to New Zealand, Australia, which is also going to be their summer. So there's so many. And maybe I can try to get a job on a ship to go back to Antarctica. That would be my dream.
I will be a janitor in Antarctica
Yeah.
if I want to. I would love it.
Okay, thanks so much for watching. Let us know, would you like to run a business this way? And if so, what would you like to do in the off season? What's something you've always wanted to do that you've never had time to?